Argentina and Lisandro Martinez wins the World Cup. One of the greatest finals we will see of all time. And of course, the narrative might be around Messi and his glorious moment. But to me and us Manchester United fans, it is about Lisandro Martinez, who is now a World Cup champion. And partnered with that, unfortunately, it was not Varane and France's night, Mbappe with a hat-trick as the world saw, but we now have a world-class, World Cup winning centre-back partnership in Varane and Martinez. We know Maguire and Lindelof, etc., will not be starting ahead of these two. We are playing Burnley tomorrow night in the Caraboa Cup at Old Trafford. Exciting times. Manchester United is back. Eric Ten Hag ball once again on display. And interesting to note that all of the players are back from the World Cup. Of course, we know Varane and Martinez might get an extended break. I don't think we'll see them, obviously, in the squad for tomorrow night's game. And maybe even by the weekend, I don't think we might see them. Maybe they might be back. Who knows if they are that committed and match fit? Then surely Ten Hag might play them over the weekend. But in terms of tomorrow night, I do believe that we won't be seeing Varane and Martinez. But the rest of the squad is fit, is available. Delo will not be playing due to a injury that he is still rehabilitating from with regards to since the World Cup. But a Burnley team that is different, no longer the Sean Dyche long ball tactics that they used to play. Vincent Company, their manager now, is playing good football with him, is dominating in the championship, and basically has transformed the style of football at Burnley, and therefore is going to be a tough opposition, especially for us who now, after a month break from the World Cup, will have to, shall I say, reset once again and have a sense of clarity with the way we have been playing and also improving from how we have been playing. Now, of course, as I said, the most part of the squad is available, but those that have been in the World Cup, perhaps we won't see them starting. Maybe just Maguire as of late. I think he might start alongside Lindelof because one, Lindelof was not part of the World Cup. Sweden was not in it. And Maguire was early enough back and had his week break that was given to the players that were knocked out before the semi-finals of the World Cup. So for me personally, a starting 11 would be De Gea in goal, as it is our first competitive game back, and I think of course he would start as he is the number one. Of course, as I said, Maguire and Lindelof in the centre back positions. Left back, this is interesting. So I think and believe that Brandon Williams will start at left back, and I think it probably will just be because Malacia will have to move over to right back. As I said, Delo will not be playing, and I don't think Ten Hag will be starting Wan-Bissaka because Fabrizio has come out and has said that Wan-Bissaka is to be sold, and the likes of Wolves and West Ham are monitoring his situation, and he is likely to be sold in January. So I think Malacia will come in at right back, and left back Brandon Williams. In midfield, I think he will probably go with Scott McTominay, Fred, and Bruno, in my opinion. I think Bruno will come in and play at the 10. He had his break after being knocked out of the World Cup, and of course, he is back at Carrington, and I think he should be fit enough to play in the Carabao Game Cup tomorrow. And of course, for me personally, the front three would need to be on the left-hand side, Garnacho, up front being Anthony Martial, and on the right-hand side, now I know Anthony is back in training, and of course, Anthony can start the game, but I would like to see Pelistri given a run out because at the World Cup, he basically started every game for Uruguay on the right-hand side and showed good moments of quality, holding the ball, taking on his man, and getting a couple assists in the World Cup. So perhaps this could be an opportunity for Pelistri if he's on the bench, maybe in the second half. But that is my 11: De Gea, Maguire, Lindelof, Brandon Williams at left back, Malacia at right back because of Delo not being available, and of course Fred, McTominay, and Bruno. Garnacho on the left, Martial up front, and on the right hand side I would like to see Pelistri, but we probably will see Elanga play. Now, I know many of you guys are talking about Marcus Rashford and why I haven't mentioned him. I think Ten Hag might not play his big guns, if I have to put it that way. I think he'll give them extra recovery time from the World Cup. And it's also been reported that Ten Hag has been doing research at the Tour de France nutrition specialists, and also the way their sleep patterns are, to allow any small advantages that might have an extra peak in the performance that Ten Hag wants in his players. He's also gotten hold of a sports psychologist to help with players who are perhaps having a lack in their mental since their knockouts from the World Cup, and also how they feel since the World Cup is ended, to boost their mentality to once again have full focus on Manchester United and the season ahead. I think Ten Hag does want to win a trophy. Perhaps the Europa League is an option. It can be an option. It should be an option, as it is a way into the Champions League for next season. And of course, the FA Cup and the Caraboa Cup is a definite option as a trophy to look at and win, especially the Carabao Cup, because Liverpool plays Chelsea and one of those teams has to go out. So we might have an opportunity at winning the Carabao Cup. It's going to be interesting to see how we come back and how we react in a game where Burnley is not the same Burnley as they have been over the years. And it will also be interesting to see those who are squad players, bench players, how they perhaps want to play well and work their way into the first team, if I have to put it that way. But it will be an exciting game. As I said, congratulations to our very own butcher, Lisandro Martinez, winning the World Cup. But it's back to Manchester United, back to Ten Hag football, and that is what we want to see. Ten Hag, Manchester United, back once again.